Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. We're still joined, by the way, by Sandy Hurd, Harry Schrader. Before the break, Sandy, you were talking about timeless architecture, and I'd like for you to expand on that a little bit, if you don't mind, Harry.
Sure, happy to. I'm not sure there's one definition for timeless architecture, but I often think about the idea of people having emotional connections to great places, to great cities, to great architecture that we might, like Trent said, not know why we love it, but there's something intrinsically good about it. It was designed well. It was proportioned well. It had fine materials. And I think that laces its way throughout the entire United States, quite frankly. And so when you think about a legacy project that McLean is hopeful to be, I think about making decisions that leave us with a timeless perspective. Architecture that doesn't lose its luster, that isn't a kitschy period piece. And one of the things that fundamentally has to happen there is that we have to go into this with a belief that a diverse group with diverse creativity, with diverse buyers, are open-minded to what it takes to make decisions that have cost implications, obviously, that leave us with a better product. We only have to look so far to find a host of poorly planned communities with really uninspired connection to their setting, without sensitivity to topography or to great trees that can be saved, to view sheds, to know that we're not all committed to the same thing. And that's what I love about what McLean's setting up to do.
Well, let me clear this up. So you don't like fads.
Right.
But you love pink porcelain in bathrooms.
There's a backstory. That'll be on the web version.
I was the laborer. I think my favorite part of my life was when I was a laborer tearing out these old bathrooms in Myers Park and Dilworth. And I tore out more pink and teal toilets and tubs than you can shake a stick at.
Right. Well, I think one thing that's important to say is this is not about me specifically or my taste specifically. I'm anxious to design projects on this land, and I've been commissioned to do some of the work for the development team, whether it's the amenity building, which I think is on its way to being a special place for the community to enjoy. And I'm an architect that designs custom residential estate homes, so I sure would love the opportunity to be doing stuff along the shores of McLean. But the bigger responsibility is to put a set of design criteria in place that affords the right amount of creativity for the buyer with the right amount of restriction to set us up for success, where there's a holistic personality there.
And the real challenge of that is to do it in all price ranges.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would tell you that good design is not dictated by budget. I think you can make fantastic design decisions on a budget. And so I think that's the goal, is that there's a diverse personality, a richness to the place. It's not about force feeding one style of architecture, but to commit to good stylistic principles at every price point that tells the visitor and homeowner alike that they're in some place that's been thoughtfully crafted.
Sandy, we were talking during the break about, you said the Catawba Land Conservatory?
The Catawba Lands Conservancy purchased roughly, I think it's about 60 acres, and it's also waterfront property from the Stowe Foundation during the recession. I'm not sure exactly what year, but during 2010, 2011. That property has now been improved with a trail. It is a link of the Carolina Thread Trails. And on the weekends, there's a parking lot right on New Hope Road, which is it's sort of in the middle of the McLean development. That parking lot is full to overflowing with people who are enjoying that amenity as well.
Cool. And something I just thought about, too. I mean, Harry, you talk about lifetime products. When we build houses, are nice products. They're when you use the right woods or use the right stone or use the right slate. And that's what I think. I mean, when I think about this neighborhood, I think we're going to use that combination. And it's really, in my vision, if you build a house correctly or a home correctly, I mean, it should last hundreds of years under normal maintenance, and that's because you're utilizing, quote, lifetime products.
Materials and authentic products.
Mm-hmm.
I agree completely.
Yeah, it's about marrying the right palette of materials with the right design components that suit the way people live today versus 100 years ago. You know, we don't want to duplicate timeless architecture as dictated by it looking old. We want it to gravitate towards the philosophies that people live by now, with a quality perspective on how it's built, so that, yes, this house can stay in a family for generations, and it can be a great asset to enjoy. I'm a firm believer that the way people live in inspired architecture changes their happiness. There's no question in my mind that that's a factor. So not only are we meeting their needs today, but we're meeting their families' needs and their resale values into the future.
When an architect talks about assets on building a home, I think that shows what it's all about. I mean, I like to correlate building with business, with life, with who we are, and I love the word asset because I think it means so many different levels of greatness. So thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
Harry, Sandy, thank you so much for being here. If people want to learn more about the neighborhood, it's discovermclean.com. They can find out about what Andrew Roby's doing out there and also all the other builders that are part of that community. It's been a great day, Trent. Another good Sunday morning for Trent Haston. Go ahead, buddy.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. And the entire Roby family of companies. I'm Ashley Davis. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. We hope you will be as well for the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. And remember, you're always at home with Roby.